Hi guys, Marty here with Lacrosse TV. Got a bit of a special event or special treat for you guys on Facebook. Australian coach Glenn Meredith has joined us. Firstly, I guess just come back from Israel, had a bit of time to reflect. I guess what's your initial impressions, I guess, on the trip and the campaign?
Really impressed with the boys. To be running as hard as they were in the last game, in the last quarter, and after 8 games in 8 days is just outstanding. And I think it's just inspiring for everybody in Australian lacrosse. And what you see the men's and the women's teams do at the highest level is just off the charts in relation to it. If you look at the country as a whole, we have maybe 1,000 players tops in men's, and people that have the ability to make the Australian team, maybe 100. So we're pretty low on numbers in that regard. But once you select that team and you put them on the field, how they represent Australia, and to be running as hard as they were in the fourth quarter against the Iroquois, but for the want of a slow start and giving them probably 2 goals too many as a head start, to storm home and go down by a couple of goals. And if that game, with all due respect to the Iroquois, who are just an outstanding team and brilliantly coached, for the sake of another 3 minutes, we'd have a bronze medal around our neck right now. So I guess from a coaching point of view, when you see the players running up and down on the field like that, it just should inspire everybody in Australian lacrosse to just be better.
Yeah, it was great to see. It was like a wave of in that last quarter. It was just like everybody, I think, in Australia was getting behind.
We had 5 of the last 6 shots, and if you watch Mitch Kennedy have one, Lockie Walker have one, and we just couldn't get that one to slip inside the pipe. We had a couple that just missed, and Tim Graham took the face and ran down and took a shot. We just couldn't quite get to within one, and then I had a timeout left, and maybe we could have used that and sent in a little, a specific play, a 20-second play, and got on level terms with them. And I'm sure if we'd have done that, we'd have ended up winning the game.
I suppose there's a lot of shoulda, would'ves and could'ves
correct.
in that. But I guess standouts, looking at the whole squad, I guess who were the standouts in your eyes?
A lot of guys, when you're coaching, a lot of guys that go through that are unsung. And if you look at both our keepers, were really good. Ryan Sparks and Sean Aaron were both just outstanding. Just tremendous blokes. And they actually grew beards at the same time, and they looked like the same bloke. A lot of the time, one's a lefty, one's a righty, but they were just outstanding. Our entire defence unit has held on really well throughout the whole process. And look, Nigel Morton was outstanding. Will Pickett does what Will does. Lockie Walker, Mitch Kennedy, these guys really stood up. And even though Isaac Cahill in his first one probably didn't get the time on field that he liked, he's still really building towards the next one. He's going to be a star at the next one, without any question. Chris Robertson, the attackman, really played well, and when he was driving that lefty side, he opened up lanes for our righty cutters and righty outside shooters. I don't like to single blokes out, so I've tried to sort of give you a whole raft of people there if I can. But
spoken like a true coach. But
as a team, they're just outstanding.
Now, obviously, the SA boys, a little lighter on numbers compared to last time. We had probably, I think it was 10 last time, and only sort of 3-4 if you include Will, who's spent the last few years.
If you look at the retirements, like when Ross Hamilton, Will Pickett moved to England, I'm trying to think, Aston Carter, right, Steve Mortimer, just moved on with life as it pans out that way. And so there was a whole lot of guys that left at the same time. In fact, the entire leadership group in 2014 was gone to the 2018 program, so we had to invest in a whole new leadership group, and those guys were outstanding. But there was a sort of little hole coming through in South Australia. But if you look at South Australia now with the guys, like you've got Henry Haskett going to college, and Rosenthal, and I think there's another young kid from here just going, his name escapes me just at the moment. Tom Holden, sorry, it just happened today. I believe he's going to college in the States. And Toddy Bartlett and Cody Watts and these kids that are coming through, the Palmer boys, Paddy and Jake, is it Jack Palmer or Jake?
Yeah, Jack
Palmer. Those guys, there is a nucleus of players coming through South Australian lacrosse that I'm really excited about, where they can take the game to the next level, and hopefully in the next World Series or the World Games, they can get back to having 9 or 10 in the team.
Yeah, now, obviously, if we have a look at the state league across the country, what do you think the state of state league, the quality and the players coming through that can really make that step? Not here necessarily just here in South Australia, but also in Victoria, WA.
And the biggest, I was the offence coach in Israel and ran that. The biggest deficiency I see in Australian lacrosse is shooting. We went at 29.8% shooting in Israel, and that's just not good enough. If we can just lift that 10% to 39%, and that's just a matter of burying 3 more one-on-ones with the keeper and maybe 4 more outside shots, if we get that up to 39%, then we're not only winning a bronze medal, we're knocking on the door of a silver medal. That's how close and tight this race in Blue Division is. So, but I'm really hopeful that the players, juniors that are coming through, the names that I've mentioned, not only in South Australia but in Victoria and West Australia, work on their shooting and all aspects of their shooting, inside, outside, post up and out, on the run. And I think if we can just get our shooting in Australia to the next level, that's the one deficiency that Australian lacrosse has at the moment.
So I guess looking at the state league coaches, how do they get that extra 10%? How do they build it in to get that extra 10%?
Shooting after training. You go through your training sessions and go through your training and everything you do at training, but at the end of training you bring out a bucket of balls and say to your offensive guys, okay, you've got 30 shots on the run left hand, 30 shots on the run right hand, you've got 30 shots post up, man up, you've got 30 shots post up left hand, you've got 30 shots coming around left hand, coming around the crease left hand, 30 shots right hand coming around the crease, and just especially what your area of the field is. Like if you're an outside shooter, take mostly those shots and make that, if that's what you're good at, if that's your signature move, then make sure they're the things that you really excel at. Because the teams of America and Canada excel at what they're good at now. You look at the MLL; they have a 2-point line and a shot clock, and that's taken their shooting off the charts. The first game where they beat us in America 19-1, it was sadly awesome to watch their shooting. Paul Rabel said to me they actually aim for inside pipe now when they shoot. And in that game, they had 31 shots on the cage, and 8 of them hit the pipe and went in. I mean, that's just off the. I've got the shot chart on my phone to show people because it's just so impressive. There's not one shot in the middle of the cage where the goalie stands. Yeah. We need to get up near that sort of level. And if we add in all the other components of Australian lacrosse, like the guts, determination, and hard running, we'll be competitive again.
Now, obviously, fourth is not where you want to be with Australian lacrosse, but how do I guess do you make it to those sort of top two, and I guess vice versa, hold off that improving. Europe's improving. A lot of other countries are kind of closing the gap to us, but obviously, how do we close that gap?
Everyone's improving. And 46 countries. I mean, Australia won the silver medal in '94, and just an amazing effort, outstanding. And those guys are legends, to win the silver medal at that stage. But I don't know how many teams are in '94. There's 46 teams in Israel, and a lot of them are now. There's no nice way to say this. A lot of them are filled with American players, and that's the way the game has gone. And Australia doesn't seem to do that. We seem to back ourselves, and we don't have a lot of kids in NCAA programs. No, I don't. It's a tough question. I think shooting is the main aspect. The blood and guts, desire and want is already there from the players.
Aussie spirit?
Yeah, that's already there. We already have that as a group, and the players run on the field. And as I said before, when you're coaching these guys and they're running as hard as they were in the 8 game in 8 days in the last quarter, in that heat and that humidity, they're just outstanding. So we just need to add these finite points in them, which is shooting is the main thing. Probably our fitness was at a pretty good level. Shooting and assist giving, and maybe having our lids up a little bit when we come around the corner for assist giving. But it's just really minor things that are, as I said, I think we're a 5-goal better team in Israel than we were, with all due respect to the 214 guys, because how outstanding they were with the problems that were dealt to them. If we can just improve 5 more goals, again, we're knocking on the door of some good things.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously getting back to the medals, and it's tough to compete with the college, but the system, they're training 6 days a week and playing on the 7th. It's tough to, I suppose, beat that.
Yeah.
But obviously,
if you look at it, and anybody who knows, the 2 things you need in lacrosse or in any sport to be successful, the main components are time and money, and they're the 2 biggest things that Australia doesn't have. We don't have the time to get together, and we don't have the money to spend like other countries do. So we make up for that in other ways, but it'd be great if we could get together and train 6 days a week, as you're saying, put the guys on the weights full time, and it would just be outstanding. As getting our kids to NCAA programs is important. Tim Graham, I believe, is fielding offers from Division 1 colleges in America now, which is terrific. So if he can spend 4 years in an NCAA college as the face-off kid, he's already started, and he's going to go on to some great things, and he's a ripping kid, Tim, and I wish him all the best. If we can just get Tim and a few more kids in that situation to come back and then represent us on the world stage, we will be dynamic.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, Glenn. It's always great to have a chat and talk lacrosse and everything that goes on with it. So thank you very much, mate.
Oh, you're welcome. It was great to be part of it.
Yes.